All right, it's your boy Note. We are back on the Note Show. All right, let's get on what I'm already late to talk about. All right, let's get on Stipe versus DC already. We already know the outcome of that. Stipe still is the heavyweight champion of the world, UFC. Y'all gotta forgive me. It's like 2 a.m. over here. Okay. Look back, review. Was this the fight that I thought it was going to be? No. I thought that they had plenty of time to get in shape, plenty of time to focus, plenty of time to get their endurance and everything put together. Thought DC would be in his best shape. He kind of looked like he was in his best shape as far as weight loss and everything. Gotta say, I mean, he was giving some nice overhands. I mean, eye pokes, vice versa, back and forth. Kind of comical that DC was even talking about eye pokes when most of his fights of his career he's eye poked someone. But at the end of the day, it wasn't the fight that I thought it would be. But we see now who's the champ. Stipe, he won. I thought DC would win. I was in favor of DC. I would have liked to see him go out at least on top. Everyone loves a fairy tale ending. I do. You know, I wanted to see it. It was something that would have been nice to see. But, you know, I mean, when he knocked him out, I think it was in the second or third. I want to say it was the second round, but it could have been the third. But when he caught him with that right, and he hit the back of his cage, DC, and he was on top of him, he was just wailing him, and then he caught that bell, which saved him. I mean, he pretty much. I mean, if that bell wouldn't have been hit, that'd have been it. That'd have been called off. So at least we got to see it go all the way. You know, last fight, DC, love him, respect him. It was a great fight. You know, I mean, I just thought you would have seen more. You know, and on that card, you know, what about Sean O'Malley? You know, what the fuck? You know, all that hype gets in a kicking match and loses and gets his leg messed up. It was a crazy, man, card. That's like 2 weeks ago. Sorry about that. 2 weeks old card. Have you guys seen that Alex Vanosky's? He got a book now. He wrote a book. This dude's tripping. He got a book now called, I think it's called like Alexander the Great children's book, right? And I mean, he made this book and all this spout run his mouth. The only reason why I'm touching on that is because we all know that the dude didn't beat Max Holloway. I mean, I'm still kind of lost. Like, why are you going around talking about this when at the end of the day, you got something still to prove to, at least to all of us fans. If you agree that Alex Vanosky beat Max Holloway, don't judge fighting. Don't watch fighting. Stop watching fighting. Figure something else out. Get a hobby in crafts. Go outside and bird watch. Do something because you're high. You're high off bath salt, something. You're gone. You can't think that. That's insane. I couldn't even. You could go into an argument and we could argue about it, but I still couldn't see the concept of any rationalness of that thought pattern. But the book to me is hilarious because he's not the champ. Period. To me, I just wanted to reach out. I just needed to get that off my chest because I've seen it and he's going around just. Dude really feels like he won that fight. Get the fuck out of here, man. Upcoming fights. I mean, I just want to talk about. I mean, you got Brian Ortega and what is it? The Korean Zombie going at each other like in October the 17th. But I mean, that's close. You know. Then after that, I know you got Habib and Justin Gaethje coming. I think in December. But all those are matches we want to see. I'm not going to talk on those yet because the match that's going to come up that's got me hyped, that's got everybody focused, is UFC 253, Paula Acosta and Israel Santa. Whew. Speaking those two names together just gives me chills. I've been talked to about this fight with a lot of people. I mean, it's a subject that's pretty big. Two undefeated fighters, heavyweight champion of the world. You got Paula Acosta, who's a freight train bus coming at you with pure power and strength. You got Israel Santa, that's very great counter and speed and accuracy. Two different styles, crazy matchup. I mean, who will win though? I mean, I was doing some jujitsu the other day when I was training at AJJ Sports, and I had one of my training partners. We were discussing, who you think's gonna win. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I mean, we can sit here and speculate. Israel Santos counters, how he got Robert Whitaker with that counter in the second round. I mean, we can talk about Paula Acosta and his just rampage on people. There's so many. All right, there's so many things that we can go into this because we can talk about. Okay, the Uriah Hall fight. I mean, excuse me, not Uriah Hall. I don't know. I didn't mean to talk about that. We can talk about, okay, Israel Santos' fight when he fought Romero. He ran from that. We all seen that. No matter what you say, we can take that bad thing for Paula Acosta to look at, that Israel is not wanting to, like, he's not trying to get knocked out. Like, out of all that funk and all that swag, all those things that Style Bender says, I hear that. But at the end of the day, when he got in there with Romero, he ran, all right? Romero, I don't know what the fuck. At the end of the day, Romero had him on the cage. I think on the second round, hit him with something, and he didn't go after that attack, which I still don't get. But that's neither here or there. All right. Then you got Romero against Paulo Costa, which people thought Romero won, and they both were just knocking each other. You have a lot of ifs and buts. You have a lot of. Is Paulo Costa gonna be able to push Israel Santa like he does in fights? Is he gonna be able to push him, control the octagon, go in front of him and swing like a wild man and not get hit? Not get binged. He's not gonna be able to do that. All right, I love Paulo Costa. He's a great fighter, but you're not gonna walk down Israel Santa. You're not gonna walk up on him. And if you do, you're gonna get caught. No matter what you're talking about, Israel Santa is a very technical and smart fighter. Period. He's one of the greatest already, and you can see why. His intelligent fight game. When you're in there, it's a totally different story. When you're fighting, you can do all that stuff. Train, jab, go and do all the things you want to do. But when you're in a fight, your mind thinks totally different. A lot of people don't get that concept of how your mind is. You can train with someone and do all these runs and every day, do certain things, and in a fight it don't even happen that way, not any, and you haven't even trained for those situations. So now, your mind goes to, just swing or do, what I'm saying? So it's Israel Santa keeps that mindset controlled. You can tell, and he's very skilled, and it's going to be a very difficult fight. But the problem is, if Israel can't sleep him, and which Paula Acosta has a fucking giant chin, he can take that. Then you got a long night. Now, if he can wear out Paula Acosta, which Israel Santa probably is going to try to wear out Paula Acosta with his gas tank, it may work, it may not. I don't know. We're going to see, but it's one of them fights that I'm not going to say who's going to win because you don't know, but that you're in for a wild ride. I guarantee you that we all will not no one's going to be unsatisfied with that fight. Win or lose, whoever wins, it's going to be a war, a dog war. Super excited. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be a beast. I mean, and we can go into who's winning who because you see the arguments where it looks like Stylebender's kind of getting in his feelings and talking about the USADA and all that, kind of dry snitching, kind of like, I've been tested with USADA, have you? It's like, shut the fuck up, man. Don't be scared now if he is or not. Whoop this motherfucker's ass. But we'll see. It's gonna be one of those fights, man. That's gonna. That's got me hyped, man. It's like when you go and you get food and you're like, which place do I want to eat? I can eat Pizza Hut or Chipotle's. Pizza Hut or Chipotle's. It's hard. It's like I don't know which one. I don't want to choose which one because I like them so much. So I'm in that pickle when it comes to that. It's gonna be a phenomenal fight. UFC 253. It's going down. It's going down. All right. By the way, I just want to talk real quick about Megan Anderson versus Amanda Nunez, which is like in December sometime. That fight is probably the most shittiest fight, and I say that because Megan Anderson is going to get beat. I mean, period. We're not even going to act like she's not. Um, it's just going to be a fucking quick dog show ass whooping. Like, man, Nunez, I think probably will TKO her in like the second round, maybe the third. I don't know. That's not going to be an enjoyable fight. She's running out of victims, man. Victims. That's a true champ right there. They don't talk about her too much, but Amanda Nunes is almost GOAT status. It's going to be hard to see a woman in her division ever live up to that because she's just scorching them. Scorching them. All right. So I got all them fights out the way. It's been a crazy past couple of months, man, with this COVID situation. I don't know how you guys are doing out there with your parenting and trying to grasp all the things you're trying to do to make money and if you're going back to your job or whatever. But I'll tell you what, it's been hectic for me myself. I'm kind of sad because you guys didn't get to see on YouTube the last episode because the UFC took it down, which I should be mad, but I'm like, hey, man, somebody watching me. Somebody seeing something. They may not like it, but they took it down. By the way, UFC 4, the game, got it, been playing it. I think I played 10 matches on career mode, and I already got the belt. I think I fought 3 more times, and now I'm fighting Tyron Woodley for 2 champions. My belt and their belt. I mean, it's quick. It's an ESPN game for real. It's not that good. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I give it maybe a 4 stars. The career mode's pretty shitty. The graphics, I mean, the graphics are a hit and miss for me. But at the end of the day, they pretty much copied all the codes from the last game and probably put a little advanced, but kind of was expecting something real good. I mean, something after 4 years, you're expecting something to fucking drop my jaw and be like, whoa, but I mean, like I said, I give it like a 4 or 5 star. It wasn't really something that just like blew my mind, like, oh my God, nah, it wasn't as hyped up that I thought it would be. But you got to think too, everybody. What are they doing? They just did the deal with ESPN. Everything's changing. Now they just came out with this new ESPN model of UFC 4. What do they do with all the other ones? Oh, they make like NBA take 2K1, 2, blah, 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 blah. It just keeps going. That's all they're going to do, I think, with UFC. And with knowing that the Xbox S is set to hit the stands, I think, in November or December, and PlayStation 5. I mean, they're just going to put all the new ones on the next year's console. So I don't think we really got to worry about it for real. I think this was kind of like an appetizer from whatever they're going to come with. But listen, the only thing I really like is the grappling. But besides the grappling, I mean, it sucked. I mean, you need to go to the drawing board, and I don't care. I mean, Joe Rogan is kind of an asset as far as the UFC, as far as commentating, hearing his voice. So it's more of a Musk. You smell musky. Nah, for real though, it's more of a must when it comes to Joe Rogan and it comes to commentary. When it comes to UFC, we've all loved hearing his commentary. Not to knock Daniel Cormier, because I like Daniel Cormier too, but you need to put him in there. I know he doesn't want to, but it's just kind of it makes it kind of sucky not hearing his voice too, just as commentary. That kind of made me sad. But all in all, the game, 4 or 5 stars. Play it if you want, but they'll probably have another one. A lot of fighters, so probably the biggest selections as far as UFC you've ever had. I think it's like 225. It's a lot of fighters, man. But at the end of the day, it's all right. It's all right. So there's a lot of stuff going on with me. I'm getting into a lot of stuff, so I've been gone. Another short show, but I want to get into it before I leave, is gratefulness. I want to talk about gratefulness. It's took me a long time to get to where I've gotten to, and I'm still grinding. I ain't doing nothing any other person isn't doing out here. Grinding consecutively, with different things, continuously hitting whatever I hit. Sometimes hit or miss, but I'm grateful. And I say that because I've been doing this for a while, and I see a lot of people that grow distant from other people. They they tend to foreshadow some other people, and they tend to not mess with other people that isn't beneficial to them. And it gets sad because if at my age, I'm doing this because I love it. Of course, I live off this. I make money off of the things I do, but I really do it because I love it. I mean, I'm not good at too much things, but I love doing this. I love camera work. I love doing audio engineering work. I love doing graphic designs. I just love doing all types of creative things, processing different scenarios when it comes to filming, learning. I love to learn too. I love to get better at whatever I do. That's just my thing. Um, but when I see people that try to push away from people and not be grateful, or at least understand that they had some type of form of shaping their career in some type of way, is crazy. I see a lot of cats coming out here that are rappers. They get a little bit big headed, and they push away people away from them. I see a lot of different kind of people. And when I say rappers, I deal with a lot of type of individuals when it comes to artists, actors, rappers, DJs, you name it. And I'm starting to get into now working with martial artists. Things you see that you look on the way that you see people are ahead of you. Some people are in bigger positions of where you want to be. Myself, I look to other people that are out here that have bigger names that continue to amaze me with their creativity and their work. Um, it just amazes me when you watch and you see all these people developing, and maybe some of them you knew the other person, or the other person they foreshadowed, but they were always with the other person. And you get to a place, and you're not grateful. You're not grateful. You look ugly. Your soul's ugly. The negativity that pushes off you's ugly. Um, let's always remember, you know, where we started, where we came from, who helped us get to where we got to, what elevated you. Because at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can run our mouths and have our egos out, and we can talk like, yeah, I got myself here, thank God, but man, I put myself in this game. This game was all me. When that's not true, even myself, everybody gets help, whether you want to admit it. Everyone has to connect. Everyone has to find a certain plug that we all are kind of connected to, which gets us involved in certain things. And to not be to boast myself, I could not be here today if it wasn't for certain people that believed in me, or that pushed me in a certain direction, that kept me from going back to prison, that kept me from going back to old relationships that would just lead me into prison. I was a crash course dummy, you know. Um, so we all have somebody that either pushes us on the path, guides us, or current, keeps us on that steady wind to our North Star of where we're sailing to, in our lives, our careers. And this doesn't go, this goes for anything. I mean, big promotions, whatever happens to you, be grateful. I say that because at the end of the day, our journey says the most about us, but how we got here, how we conduct ourselves when we get to that final place of a shore where we unboat off of our journey, how we conduct ourselves means everything. You dig? And I say that because being grateful is so much better than feeling like you deserved it. Just being grateful. And I know people are like, what the fuck do you mean, bro? Like, I do deserve it. Maybe you do deserve it. Maybe you're an artist right now that spend 24/7 at your craft. Maybe you're in the studio all the time. You don't get that many views. People don't know who you are, but you put the grind, you put the work in, and you feel you deserve it. And then once you get it, fuck everybody, you deserve it. See where I'm going? It's not where it's at, bro. It's not where it's at. Anybody, it's not that negativity outshadows any creativity that you have to anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just pure ugliness, bro. Being humble and being thankful for what you have is something totally different, because our journeys are only one time. It's really, at the end of the day, sheer will gamble of what you do with your life to become famous. Because if you think right now, there isn't someone that is a genius that has spent their whole lives studying some type of form of craft that is way better than you, you're high. There's somebody right now that can sing, rap, play the piano, make beats, and you just don't know about them because they don't have anyone that has given them that push. So it's like if you get it right now in this world, if you become successful, be grateful because there's so much things that that could have taken you in a whole nother direction. And I'm not speaking on something that isn't anything to anybody. It's common sense, but I really wanted to touch on that because I've seen so much ungratitude of people, just the the sheer hate because someone else is getting there before you and not grateful for them to help you or feeling like you deserve something. One thing I've learned about this whole motherfucking game, my G, is that it's a hustle, a grind, determination, and a sheer will of not giving up regardless of whether you get likes, views, people watch you or anything. So let's be grateful. Let's be grateful for the people that have helped us get to where we need to get to. People that are still gonna help you, the people that you don't know or haven't met yet that will help you. Let's just be grateful, man, because that negativity doesn't bring anything. It doesn't make you look good. You look like a fucking dick. And who wants to be around a dick? Because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, but if you're working in the entertainment industry, and that goes for anything, you want to be looked at, regardless of what you're saying, what you're doing. You want to be looked at. That's just what it is. So let's be grateful, man. Let's sit down. Let's be grateful, man. If you got anybody that's helped you get to where you're at right now, let them know, hey, man, I'm grateful, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because you don't know that business situation if it ever comes back. You don't know who knows who in this world. It's a big world, but people tend to know people. And sometimes just being a solid motherfucker will end up coming back and helping you out. Keep your karma good. Keep your karma good, your energy good. There's nothing else anyone can tell you because you have yourself in check. And that gratefulness continues as well as when you get bigger and bigger. You can teach your children. You can teach anyone that you care about to keep a level head, because being grateful and being humble is something that is a gratitude of itself. And anyone that knows that if they center their chi and they get their self-centered, the universe tends to benefit you in ways that you wouldn't even imagine. I know it might sound like some weird ass shit, but just some food for thought. I like to leave y'all with some food for thought every time I'm on here. All right, man, that's the No Show. I'll be back again, promise you. I ain't stopping, man. All right, it's your boy No, man. I'm out for this No Show. It's out.
Yo, it's Snow, baby.